here is actually a continuation of the morning class that we were doing at this time slot anyway, and we were talking about the laws of Shabbat. And we actually spent a good deal of time, and if you want, I could send you I have to figure out how, but I could send you the recordings that we've done over a long period of time at this point. But we're in the middle of talking about the concept of bathing and cosmetics. So we kind of just finished bathing, and we're talking about cosmetics. So the truth is, most of this is going to apply for a female, but there are men that take certain cosmetic steps, and so some of this would apply. So I'm reading from a book called Shabbat Hilkhot. It's written by a current rabbi in Israel named Rabbi Aharon Zakkai, and he's known, he's Sephardic, and we like the book. Sometimes it gets a little Kabbalistic, but usually it stays pretty much straight to the point and to the way that we follow the laws. Whenever we need, we make an adjustment. We talk about an adjustment. So it says the following: Asur leisha shetavir b'Shabbat srak al paneha mishum isur tzoveya mitam ze asura lekol et eneha. So a woman is not allowed, and neither would be a man, and there are situations where men would want to do this, to put kind of paste, cream, or some other coloring on her face, eyeshadow, etc.
Wow.
Pretty much all of the things that go into cosmetics, because there's a melacha, that's one of the 39 melachot that you're not allowed to do, called soveya. Soveya means to color. And the coloring in the Mishkan, which by the way happens to be this week's parasha, where we learn the 39 melachot are forbidden, connected to Shabbat. So the coloring they did in the Mishkan was that they would dye the wool that would be used for the tapestries of the Mishkan. So anything that's similar to that would be a problem. So painting my house, or in this instance, painting my face. It says, so therefore lipstick also is not allowed for them to do, because again, all these things, what's happening, like lipstick, so you're taking a color and you're putting it over the object and you're coloring the lips, the eyes, etc. And he says, and this is true even if you're just solidifying, in the sense that let's say the woman already had red lipstick on and now she's applying a second layer. So you say it was red before, it's red now. It doesn't matter. It's already not allowed. And even the clear lipstick is a problem, which of course, this does come to an issue for us, which for men is chapstick. And really, people should not put on chapstick on Shabbat for the very same reason of it being like lipstick. We'll get to another point in time where we could talk about it, but just for now, the general rule about applying creams and things like that is, if it rubs in, it's okay, but if it rubs on, it is not. So rubbing in might be like a moisturizer. Or something like that. Also, as we had said just a few days ago, or if it quickly rubs off like soap, that also would not be a problem. But things that rub on, those are more of an issue. So moisturizers are fine. If you can get some kind of chapstick type thing that rubs in, but not that is the normal chapstick. The normal chapstick is not okay because that doesn't rub in. So it's if the item rubs in, it's less of a problem, and usually it's okay. But if it doesn't rub in, it rubs on, and it's a spread on, like mascara or any other kind of face painting. For the guys, they put the baseball players put that. The eyeshadow, I think that's what it's called, I forgot what it's called, but those black stripes they put on, those are problematic.
How about something like a rouge, like a woman wears like rouge, that rubs in, but it's a color.
So rouge, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to see some powders are going to be okay. So I think some of the rouge might be okay, but I'm not an expert on the different types of. Not only not an expert, I am.
You don't know.
I am mostly ignorant on
Okay.
what they put on. Okay. מותר מעיקר הדין לנשים לתת פודרה על פניהם בשבת, ואם הפודרה צבעונית יש להקל לפי שאינה מתקיימת. בלבד שלא תהיה מעורבת במשחה או cream. So here's exactly the point that we were talking about. A powder is allowed to be put on. So if it's powdery, which I think maybe the blush and other things like that, they actually have what they call Shabbat cosmetics, Shabbat makeup. And they're generally all powder based. So powder they're allowed to apply. ואם פניה היו כבר משוחים במשחה מבעוד יום, אסור לתת פודרה על פניה, גם אם הפודרה לא מעורבת במשחה, כיוון שבכך האבקה נדבקת יפה לפנים. He says actually the powder is a problem if her face is all oiled up and then the powder is just becoming another version of that. So it would have to be on a clean face. Okay. So here we're going to disagree with this. He says here that a woman can't wipe in some kind of, or a man can't wipe in something for her skin to preserve the skin. So, what we would call moisturizer. So we would say they could, if the type of thing that rubs in, we will allow it. מותר לתת מי ורדים ושאר מי בושם על פניו וידה בשבת, וכן בשיער הראש והזקן יש להקל, אבל אסור לתת מי בושם על בגד או מטפחת. So here he talks about rose water or other kinds of fragrances. So he says you're allowed to put those on your hands, face, cologne, and so on. He says you're even allowed to put it in your hair. Seems weird to me, but I guess some people do that. He says, but where you're not allowed to do it is you're not allowed to put it in your clothing. You're not allowed to make your clothing fragrant. So you can put it, if you want to put on cologne or perfume or something like that, that's allowed. And in fact, sometimes, as we know, we make a bracha bisamim for it. And on Shabbat, there's even an issue, there's even like a reason to make the bracha bisamim because we want to make the extra barachot on Shabbat because we lose out on the 100 barachot we normally make. We lose out. We try and make 100 barachot every day because the Shabbat tefillot are shorter. We lose out on the barachot, so therefore we try and compensate with extra barachot. So therefore, using besamim is something that we do. מותר להשתמש בספרי של מטהר אוויר או בספרי של מטהר אוויר. וכן בבקבוקי בושם שעל ידי לחיצה בפקק מתפזר מהבושם וציץ ריח טוב בידיים ופנים. He says, so too, you can use a Lysol or some other spray to spray in the air and get, some kind of positive smell or get rid of the negative smell. Certainly today, disinfectants are in vogue. So you can certainly do that. מותר לנקות את קצות הציפורניים מהלכלוך שבהן, אבל לא יגרד אגב כך מגוף הציפורניים. He says your fingernails, very often you get stuff stuck under your fingernails. You are allowed to clean the dirt from under your fingernails, but what we're not allowed to do is those boards that they for the manicures and things like that. We already said you can't cut them, but you can't even
file them.
File them, stuff like that. משקפיים אשר צבע הזיגוגית שלהם משתנה בהתאם לקרני אור השמש. So now he's talking about sunglasses, or actually many people have prescription glasses which change into sunglasses. So the sunglasses, they modify, the colors modify when we go outside or inside and something like that. He says, mutar laharkivan b'Shabbat, you're allowed to wear them. There's no concern there of color. We don't know about whether or not that creates color or not. It is fine. So that's the gist of what we're going to do for today. That's the end of the piece. It's a little short, but we're going to keep it short for today. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about cleaning the house, which becomes a big issue on Shabbat. What am I allowed to do in terms of cleaning? Because we know there's a lot of rules about about cleaning in general. But at the same time, we don't want our houses and homes and shul or anything like that to be a wreck. So how do we deal with that? So that's going to be the topic for tomorrow. Anyway,
Perfect.
good to see you. Stay healthy. Stay home. If you haven't been, I imagine you've been intelligent enough to do so. But and anyone else that's listening to the recording as well, they continue to send us more and more severe restrictions. So I think we should just at this point recognize the inevitable of we're in lockdown for the next couple of weeks, and hopefully that does its job, and we can start to come out of it. And hopefully, I read something yesterday that was a little optimistic from Israel, saying that in China they've really done a really good job, and
Yes.
the shutdown
Yes.
has mattered, and they anticipate coming out of the shutdown in Wuhan and by the end of the month, which for us maybe translates to maybe Pesach, maybe a little bit after Pesach. Okay, let's get out of this, and that would be great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Thank
have a
you,
great
Rabbi.
day.
You too.
Take care.
Bye-bye.